Much needed win for Tottenham Hotspur away at Crystal Palace, a venue that's never been easy for Tottenham either. So I know they're not in the greatest run of form at the minute, and I know injuries are killing them, but Tottenham beating Crystal Palace 1-0 is just what the doctor ordered. Just before the last game before the end of the year as well. Ending what an absolutely magical year. The best year of my Tottenham Hotspur supporting life anyway has been, and ending it on a high. Of course, there's been a lot of downs this year as well. Let's be real. I saw the stat in the game as well. We lost 20 games this year, and that's only in the Premier League. So it's been a rough ride, but let's be honest. We came out this year champions, so we can only be thankful that the great Australian man, God rest his soul, brought us the trophy. But talking about today, 1-0 away to Palace. As I say, I don't know when the last time we actually won at Palace was. Maybe under Ange Postecoglou. Someone let me know in the comments. I remember last season we did lose there when Mikey Moore started. I think about the Jaffet Tanganga game under Nuno. We've had some tough games there. I think Palace done the double on us last season, and they are a very good team. Let's be honest, they're higher than us in the league, competing on many fronts, of course. And they've got a top manager. And as I always say, I know as cliche as it might sound, there's no easy game in the Premier League, except from maybe Wolves. But once again, one of the points that Wolves got was against us anyway. So, yeah, it's not like it wasn't a game full of massive quality. If anything, Crystal Palace probably had more quality. They just couldn't capitalize on their opportunities. Spurs winning 1-0 through an Archie Gray header, a goal from a set piece. Archie Gray's first goal in professional football as well, which is quite crazy to be honest. But I guess when you're playing him at right back, centre back, left back, he's not really going to have the opportunity to score. Of course, yes, it came from a set piece, but I thought Archie Gray was very good today once again. He's becoming I'm guessing he's a starter in his team at the minute, because I don't know what it is, 5 in 6 or maybe 6 in 7. But he's been starting a lot of games now, so it's looking like Thomas Frank's really trusted him in that central midfield area, and which is good for him as well, because playing in his natural position, there he can learn and grow and get better. Of course, we saw him make that mistake against Nottingham Forest, but making mistakes in a game is only how you improve, and it's how you bounce back. And Archie Gray's got the mentality, and I have no doubt that he's going to be a top player, especially paying 40 million for him as well. It would have been a bit of a waste if we couldn't see the best out of him. And so I'm happy with his performance. Richarlison, obviously 2 offside goals, very, very tight, but nothing you can say about them. Both offside goals. They were both well-worked goals as well, so it's a bit unfortunate for Thomas Frank, because if them 2 goals go in, then people might talk about the football. Of course, a lot of people say, yes, it's only a set piece, but if those 2 goals go in, obviously fine margins in football. It's a very different game. 3-0 wraps it up and looks very, very comfortable. Good to see Radu Dragusin come back as well after nearly a year out after that ACL injury. Coach Sakai was on the bench as well, another addition, getting some players back. Lucas Bergvall went off injured as well. It looked like he was rubbing like the back of his leg. I hope it's not a hamstring injury. And it would be so ironic if he's done his hamstring after we've played, 2 games in 2 weeks. So we always talk about the fixture pile up, and we actually get a break and a player gets a muscle injury. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. As I said, it's not a game with much quality, but a win is a win. Takes the pressure off Thomas Frank. If any of you guys are new to the channel, if you're not new to the channel, you know I back Thomas Frank as well, and I believe he needs time. So I'm just buzzing for him as well, because it takes a bit of the pressure off. Of course, we're still 11th in the league, but we're still only, I think, 3 points off 7th, Sunderland in 7th, and we play Sunderland in a couple of weeks as well. Sunderland has started hitting a little plateau as well, seeing as a couple of their players have gone to AFCON. So we're not a million miles off it. At the start of the season, I said between 6th and 8th is what I'm looking for. So the fact that we're not a million miles away from that shows we're probably in the right direction at the moment. I think Wilson Odebear looked good when he came on. Good that Spurs, we look solid defensively. Of course, without Romero as well, The walking red card. If you guys watch my last video, I think you know my thoughts about Romero at the moment. But it's good that at least now we know that Kevin Danto is a good enough replacement. I'm not saying he's Romero level, so no guys shoot me down, but he's good enough to come in. Of course, Radu Dragonson coming on as well, so we've got options there. Mickey Van der Ven's the crucial one as well. I think if he gets injured, that changes so much for us. So we just got to hope he stays fit. I'm guessing we can say in 2026 we're going to see Dominic Solanke and Kulusevski. I'm touching wood, pause, but I'm going to touch wood on that one because I'm assuming they're going to be back in 2026. I remember Thomas Frank saying after the surgery that he would hope to see Dom Solanke back before the end of the year, and the year is now gone. So I'm hoping that we get him back in January time. Yeah, nothing more to say. We've got another game. The games come thick and fast. Obviously, we know the Christmas schedule has not really been crazy as it normally is, but the games start to ramp up now. We got Brentford midweek, then we got Sunderland at the weekend. So, Brentford looked very good yesterday, winning 4-1 against Bournemouth. But once again, going over to the G-Tech, Thomas Frank, I know he's going to want to go and prove himself over there as well. So we could hopefully, fingers crossed, go on a little run, get 2 wins, and that pushes us up the league before the Champions League games kick in as well. So it's time to really go on a run now. Put these wins together, start creating a bit of consistency, and start pushing on getting up the league, because of course 11th place isn't good enough and we need to do more. And as I said, I back Thomas Frank as well. I believe he needs time. Of course, the January window, this is the last game before the window opens, so I'm hoping to see some additions. I'm going to do some videos as well about a couple of players that I would, of course, want to sign. Of course, I'm not the sporting director, but I'm gonna look into a few players that I think could make the step up, are probably attainable players for Tottenham as well. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, maybe did we see Brennan Johnson's last game in a Spurs shirt, of course, against a team that he's been heavily linked with as well at Crystal Palace? I don't know. All of them things we will soon find out now that the window is going to be open before our next game. And the key thing is Spurs doing business early. If you guys got any suggestions about any players we should be looking at, any players that need to get out in the window, let me know in the comments. What do you think about Spurs' performance today? And yeah, we'll be back. As I said, we got a couple of games next week as well, so we'll preview them, review them, maybe do a couple watch-alongs as well. But in the meantime, stay safe. Happy New Year. If we don't, I don't know. Yeah, Happy New Year, of course, to all the Spurs fans. The year that we became European champions again. Do not ever forget 2025. Come on, you Spurs. Peace and love.